Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. Today we got the NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool review. And I want to thank everyone for stopping by the channel. If you guys were able to catch the TakeOver event from Blackpool, make sure you drop a comment down below with some of your thoughts from the event. Overall, I would say it was a solid event. Good way to start the UK division. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We do a lot of reviews, DVD pickups, DVD reviews, things like that. So that's a mouthful of a show name. NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool. This was January 12th, 2019 from the Empress Ballroom. I love that building there. It's got the small, intimate feeling there, similar to like the Hammerstein Ballroom ECW Arena. The Royal Albert Hall, as some are referring to it as. The show aired live at 2 p.m. Eastern Time Saturday. So if you guys were unable to catch it, that's why it aired, regular time UK. This show was great, guys. Like I've said a couple times already. We had 3 title matches and a couple of other matches here. Let's get right into this. I went 4 out of 5 with my predictions, but the one match, you couldn't predict that would happen. So opening match for the NXT UK tag title is the first ever UK tag team champions. This was obviously the first UK takeover. Mustache Mountain versus the young grizzled vets, Zach Gibson, James Drake. This probably was the best match of the night. Solid back and forth. And Trent Seven got busted open early on by an elbow from Drake. Tyler Bate gets a hot tag. He got a double airplane spin on Gibson and Drake. Shooting star press from the apron. These guys did a power slam headbutt spot, homage to the British Bulldogs. Mustache Mountain was also wearing like a classic British Bulldog attire with the red and blue boots split with the white tights. I thought they looked great. Zach Gibson hits like a code breaker. Drake hits a 450 for a 2 count, massive 2 count there. So Zach Gibson, Tyler Bates on the apron, and Zach Gibson props him up on his shoulders, and James Drake hits a suicide dive and kind of like a doomsday device to the outside of the ring. These guys hit their finishing move, Ticket to Mayhem, for the 3 count. Solid match overall, really good. These guys were the first NXT Tag Team Champions. This was a great opening match. It took up the first 30 minutes of the show. Second match of the night is the one I got wrong. They showed clips from earlier in the night. Jordan Devlin attacking Travis Banks. And before the match even starts, Jordan Devlin hits a suicide dive to the outside, getting Banks down. Hits a chop block on Banks, and the refs carry Banks out of the arena. And he gets on the mic saying he's the greatest Irish wrestler and all this and that. And out comes Finn Balor to a huge pop. Huge. Solid match overall. Finn blocks the moonsault, hits a coup de grace for the 3. You couldn't really picture this match going any other way. Finn Balor did train Jordan Devlin here. They kind of look the same. They're both around the same size, so it was an even matchup overall. Solid match. Third match of the night. I wasn't too impressed with this match, but I am a big fan of Dave Mastiff. This was a no disqualification match. Dave Mastiff versus Eddie Dennis. Dave Mastiff, early on in the match, goes outside, gets the big part of the ring steps, puts those in the ring, and these guys are using kendo sticks. Eddie Dennis hits a boss man slam on the steps. This was a quick match overall. Dave Mastiff ends up hitting a cannonball on Dennis through a table that's propped up in the corner for a 3 count. Very, very quick, decent match overall. But I expect big things for Dave Mastiff. He's a big guy, about 300. He kind of had like the Vader attire going on as well. Fourth match of the night for the UK women's title. I really wasn't impressed with this match either. I would say this match was kind of cold in a way. This was the first appearance from Toni Storm since the social media stuff. Rhea Ripley versus Toni Storm here. And Ripley is dominant early on. Couple of German suplexes to Rhea. And these girls go through a series of pins. And Toni Storm is working the ankle lock. Third German suplex for a 2 count. Rhea Ripley hits her finishing move, the Riptide, for a 2 count. Storm hits a big headbutt. Storm 0 for only a 2 count. Toni ends up countering a Riptide, hits another Storm 0 for the 3 count. I think they kind of blew their load on that first kick out of the Storm 0. I don't think they needed to go all the way to a kicking out of a second finish. I think that really hurt the match a little bit. Overall, it was a solid match, but Toni Storm, your new UK Women's Champion. Fifth and final match of the night, the main event, would be Pete Dunne defending the United Kingdom title versus Joe Coffey. Another big boy here, or just much bigger than Pete Dunne anyway. So Pete Dunne, about 603 days as champ. So Pete Dunne, about 603 days as champ. Sorry about that. He's one of the longest reigning champions in WWE today. If you want to go back as far as Hogan's last reign, when Hogan first won the title, I think Pete Dunne's reign is slowly coming to an end. It's been great. So Pete Dunne is putting Joe into submission early on. He's going after the ankle, the fingers, the regal stretch. He's got a Kimura locked on at one time. Good back and forth stuff here. Joe Coffey puts Pete Dunne on a Boston Crab. And he's working the ankle again. Hits a bitter end for a 2 count. Couple of near falls for Coffey. A DDT with a second bitter end for only a 2 count. Or no. Joe Coffey rolls out of the ring. Back and forth again, and the fans are just going nuts here. They're chanting, "Are you watching Vince McMahon?" I thought that was awesome. Pete Dunne ends up hitting a third bitter end for a 2. I didn't like that. He goes immediately to the fingers, bending the fingers. Coffey taps out immediately. I didn't like how they kind of killed his finisher here. You hit someone with 3 finishes, that should be done. That should be, wipe your hands clean. We're going home, kid. No need to kick out of 3 finishes. I think Coffey could have blocked that third one, and then they could have went into the submission. There's no need for 2 or 3 kickouts of finishing moves here. Not a fan of kicking out of multiple finishes, but overall the match was good. After the match, Pete Dunne celebrating in the ring, and out comes Walter making his official debut. There had already been, rumblings Walter had signed, but this was his official first appearance on NXT TV or whatever pay-per-view. These guys have a stare down, and it looks like this is going to be our next program for Pete Dunne. Solid show overall. It's really hard to rank these takeovers. I don't think it was as good as War Games, but it was solid overall. There was more enjoyable than not. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Take some time. Hit that subscribe. We'll talk to you later. Peace.